It's just, you know, when we make plans, God laughs. So it's like, I just don't want us to block any blessings.
Exactly.
Is what I'm saying. Because we're getting so
or
busy.
like, if you meet the right person, would you still?
Yeah, you're gonna be like, wait until Firsties is #1 podcast in the world. Then
I just might, guys. So make Firsties the #1. Get this, like, make this go viral so I can start dating. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Firsties podcast. I'm your host, Mila.
And I'm your host, Mella.
If you're new here, if you're a Firstie,
we're basically a safe space for first gens who dare to dream.
We like to laugh, kiki, argue.
Basically, two baddies with a mic.
I mean, you said not me.
Exactly.
Let's get into it, girl. Okay, let's do a recap. We always do a recap.
How was your weekend? How was your week?
Okay, it was pretty good. I went to Montana for the week.
Okay.
Totally random for work.
I know. I was like,
it's beautiful. Imagine, you know the show Gilmore Girls?
I haven't watched Gilmore Girls.
Okay, girl. All right.
Awkward.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
She's no longer a co-host.
No, but it's basically like you've probably seen clips of like these two girls, like mother and daughter in a small town.
No, I know the characters.
Oh, okay, but you haven't seen it. Okay. You're like, girl, I've been outside. But essentially it felt like I was an episode of Gilmore Girls. So like the neighborhood, everyone was like happy to see each other. There's these little like mom and pop shops, and like we were at a boutique hotel, which was super cool. But that was really nice. Then we did like this little boat party, so that was fun with my coworkers. So shout out to my coworkers. They know who they are, that I love them. Love you guys. Keep me sane at work. And then I've just been kind of hanging out with family and my mom. What about you? Let's recap with you.
How was my weekend, actually? Like, I literally always blank when people ask me this question. It was honestly very busy. I feel like I was like,
we love
with
busy.
Families like our, what's it called? Like relatives coming over and hosting. I had like a whole sister date with my little sisters.
On
Sunday.
I saw that. I'm not gonna say what restaurant, but I know what restaurant.
And tell me why everyone's saying my little sister looks like Ruth, my friend Ruth, and I'm the sister. That's the funny part. They're like, you look just like her. I'm like, no, it's me. But yeah, it was just like a very family oriented weekend, I guess. But
You're very family oriented, and I love that about you. It's so
is it giving wifey? Is it giving future wife?
Girl, because you know what the topic is going to be today. Before we jump into the topic today, there's something I want to run by you. You know how we're always on social media?
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, always. We're sending each other memes all the time.
Literally.
But there was this guy, this boyfriend, who was threatening to break up, or I think actually broke up with his girlfriend because she was crying and mourning the death of her ex.
I think I read the thingy. But I didn't watch the whole video.
And I saw the comments, and it was definitely 50-50 in the comments. So please, I also encourage our Firsties audience to jump in on the conversation. But I want to get your thoughts. And when I saw it, I was like, I have to talk to Hermela about this.
That's so insane. I don't know. If I was the girl, I'm trying to think of it like I'm the girlfriend.
Yeah.
And my ex died. Girl, I'd still cry. It's like, that's a person you like shared.
I mean, he was like from the video, it was a very short clip, so I don't know all the information, but it just seemed like he was like, almost like yelling at her, like threatening to, because she's mourning the loss of someone she used to love, or still loves, but just not together.
First of all, being jealous over like, damn, you're saying RIP to him is crazy. Can you let the girl grieve? Like, obviously, like, he's not a threat. Literally, because he's like dead now.
Yeah, is that not insane?
That's so insane. No, I don't know. Things like this trigger me. Like, I would break up with you then immediately.
I think it's showing I think it's showing no signs of emotional intelligence.
Very
right. Like, it's not about you. Let her. Like, the thing that I thought of was like from media, it showed that like Pete Davidson was pretty supportive of Ariana mourning the death of Mac Miller.
But that wasn't like sudden though, right? I thought she dated Mac Miller like breaks after.
Yeah. No, well, she dated Pete after Mac Miller.
Yeah. But I'm saying like there's like a time gap. Like
For
she wasn't mourning Mac's death while she was dating Pete Davidson. Was that the case?
No, she was.
Oh, okay.
She definitely was, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, see, it makes sense. You're giving her like time and space to grieve because that's someone she loved at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you would still have love for the person at any point in your life.
So you mentioned, but I want to just clarify, if roles were reversed, you would allow your man to mourn.
Oh, I'll let him mourn.
You're not a monster.
I'm not gonna lie, but I'll be sick because I think you guys talked about it. You and Ruth, she's immortalized.
Yeah, I did talk about Ruth.
Immortalized. Like, what can you do? I can't do nothing, but like, all I could just do is like, oh, you can like, mourn, grieve, whatever.
Okay, let's take it next step further because we have to, because it's just me.
Okay.
What if the mourning, obviously we can't judge someone's mourning, right?
Yeah.
But what if it is giving, like, that's the one that got away, or that's the love of his life that.
Girl. See you later. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Because if you think that's the one that got away, you're going to be so excited for the death do us part. When after we're married, you think that's the one that got away is crazy. Like, me thinking that's my soulmate, and who are you then? That's also my soulmate. Do you know what I mean? Like, clearly, I'm already out the.
But sometimes there could be soulmates, but they just can't be together. They're soulmates, but they just can't be together. So they're with their life partner.
That does not.
No?
I think if you're soulmates, you're going to be together. I understand if you're soulmates and he dies, and then you can have another soulmate. Like, there's just no way you're going to meet two of your soulmates at the same time.
But you know how some people, it's like soulmates, but then I can't think of a situation right now, just certain stuff that factors in that they can't be together. Whether it's like the one thing that came off the top of my head is like they bring out the worst in each other, maybe, but that's not your soulmate.
A soulmate is not gonna. That's like a twin flame, maybe. Like that's a lesson. That's a trigger. Okay. What we're gonna talk about today.
Yes,
but those are lessons. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's like your soulmate. If your soulmate, even the distance, whatever, you guys are always gonna find each other. Like find your way back to each other or something. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna sacrifice the distance to meet them. If he thinks that like that girl was his soulmate, the one that got away,
Carmela's done,
and she's dead. And now I can't even fight. Like, I can't do nothing. Take my gloves. I'm gone.
Alyssa, cut me out. Count me out.
Like, I'm
Before we get into the topic, actually, not me interviewing you, do you believe in soulmates?
I do. I do believe in soulmates, but I'm still... Okay, I think, I don't think you can only have one soulmate, though. The silence. Oh, my God. It's so... I said, it's so quiet. Like, I can't say there's only one soulmate, because... How about for the widows? The people who lost their husbands.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, but he has to die for me to have another soulmate. Like, there's just no way two of my soulmates are walking to Target right now.
Not Target.
It doesn't make sense.
Not Target. I think it might be different for us because, and I don't really know the answer, because of our faith.
But see, even in faith, like, you know how, like, your soulmate is, like, someone you're equally yoked and stuff? When he dies, I'm literally a whole egg by myself, and I feel like I could be yoked with someone else.
But sometimes I feel as though, like, some people have the honor of finding their true love. That's lucky people. Not everybody gets that, right? That, nigga, you get one. Girl, you get one. And then, thank God you've experienced that. And then, I'm not saying that's a wrap, but no one can. So I think it is just one.
But even in the Bible, God doesn't talk about soulmates.
True.
Like,
that's why I said. That's why I said
like two wives, right?
Yeah.
Isaac, one of them had like two wives.
And also, not everybody was married, too.
Exactly.
That's also not everyone's. Yeah.
I feel like God always talks about like a companion. I don't know. I haven't read the book
right.
So like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like God always talks about like, oh, like a wife is important, a support, companion, blah blah blah. But we always talk about like soulmates because of Adam and Eve, but they were literally the only two people on earth. Like, I don't think God is gonna be like, let me take another rib and give you a third
It's
girl,
really
you know
giving Love Island and like, nigga, you're here, I'm here, we just go match up.
It's just y'all two, but that, oh my God, it is
good. You know what I mean? Like, actually,
on the real
everything. It really is.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like God always talks about like marriage, woman, companionship, Apart from the equally yoked phrase, I can't tell you any other scripture that talks about something.
Yeah. But you know, equally yoked really means there's a scripture, and not us going to church, but basically saying like two people can't go in the same two people can't walk together if they don't decide on the same direction. Exactly. And that's what that means of like,
it's like, not really like
values and morals and stuff like that. If you guys like agree on that,
so I'm doubling down. Then you can definitely have more than one soulmate. Like, this just, I think you convinced me multiple soulmates.
But here's my only thing about the soulmates. It's like my romantic side wants to be like, yeah, I believe in soulmates and stuff.
Yeah.
but then I also am like, there's something also very awesome about you choose me and I choose you. Because I feel like soulmates is almost like, well, it's destiny, and if let go and let God, and yes, he controls a lot of it, but also he gives us the power to choose as well. Yeah. And something of like, I choose Mila every single day, to me brings me comfort more than like, we fell in love. And, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's both. Like, I feel like destiny happens, but then you have to do your work as well and choose that person.
Yeah. Even, oh my God, I'm really about to talk about another scripture. Yeah. But even God, like, it says like, let's say God gave you a gift, right? If you don't use it properly or whatever, he's going to take that gift and give it to someone else, and they're going to, you know, get the benefits and stuff like that. The same way I feel like God gave you a soulmate, but unless both y'all actively work towards each other, then he's not going to shove y'all together. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, and now I'm thinking about all the, like, have you seen that or it's not a meme, but it's like a old tale where it's like a guy is like drowning and a boat comes and they're like, we could save you. He's like, no, God's coming for me, whatever. He sent 3, and then when he went to heaven, God's like, nigga, I sent you 3. Like, what's going on? Yeah, all that. Yeah. Like, so now I'm thinking about like,
it has like his.
Has God already sent us?
Not me, girl.
You said I said that too soon. You said don't put that in my life.
I don't think so. Have you seen the it's like a theory, not even a theory actually, I'm not sure. It's like between 19 to 25 or whatever, around those age.
Talk about it just so that
you've already met. So the theory is basically you've already met someone you're going to marry, or like your soulmate or whatever, between the age of 19 to 25. We're in that. We're past that.
So
I don't know.
We're fucked.
Do you think you've met your soulmate? You never know.
I think you know what? I'm sure God's gonna make me spin the block again.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I don't ever want to spin the block.
No, here's the thing is I learned at a younger age, and we'll get into the topic today, that question everything that you know for sure. Like, really, truly, if I could have my way, the stranger that I meet tomorrow might be my partner, rather than who I've either messed with or like came across with, and just not mess with, but just like friends too, whatever. But right now in my head, I can't think of anyone that I'm like, so that's my, I genuinely, I'm going, I can't. But also, he's so grand, and we have pea-sized brains, so it's like,
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm only thinking of it like from my past situationships, like.
Or I'm thinking about friends too. I'm thinking about everyone that's come across. I'm not even talking about like the guy that you never really considered, and you're like, oh, you know,
I can't consider you for this topic then, because
that's true.
You haven't considered him. Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about like strictly like exes or like past situationships. No. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, since you brought up, do you want to introduce the topic today?
Yes, of course. So today we're going to be talking about situationships, our dating history, and what we've learned. We're getting real personal today.
We are, and I'm so proud of you, because you're really good getting into it so soon.
Yeah, guys, I've never opened up this much.
Yeah, this is literally therapy on a couch. Yeah. Now, of course, we're not getting into names or anything like that. We're not that type of podcast, anything like that.
Oh, for sure.
I hope that you guys know that this is our insight and our experience. It's not the disclaimer, but we're not saying this is like in the book of life and anything like
basically
that. Go read your Bible if you want to know the book of life.
Literally, yeah. We're not giving how to get a guy or whatever. It's what we learned so far, and there's
what not to do. Honestly,
it really is what not to do, because if it was like what to do, we would have been in a relationship right now.
Yeah, this I'm like this. That's not negative.
There's nothing there, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
I'm so dead.
You want to start?
Sure, I can start. So something I learned from a situationship, is a commitment is a commitment. Anything outside of that is not. Okay. Don't try to rewrite. Don't try to romanticize it. Don't try to. I think us girls, what we do in the situationship is the littlest things, right? A rice grain of a comment or a gesture or whatever. We could romanticize it and see like, okay, this could lead to this.
Yeah.
And not all of my situationships, I want a relationship out of it, but some of them I did. And I thought this was like, going from talking to situationships, then maybe dating, and it didn't end there. Sometimes it was on my fault, and sometimes it was on the guy's fault. Or not their fault, but it just didn't work out.
Talking, situationships, and dating?
And some, that's
how. Are they not the same thing? Wait, how do you define, like, do you think talking and dating are two different things? Because
I'm thinking dating as like boyfriend and girlfriend.
In my head, dating is you're going on dates.
So I'm glad that we clarified that.
That's okay. For me, it's like we're dating. Talking is like you met me, asked me what my name is, and then we're dating. We're like going on dates. We're trying to get to know each other, and then we're in a relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, got you. I'm glad that we clarified.
So boyfriend girlfriend is in relationship, not dating.
Right. Okay. But I would go for. This is so giving like millennial Gen Z, as you guys can see. And by the way, one of the topics I thought about when I was brainstorming earlier today was a Gen Z and millennial episode.
Yeah.
Because this is a great example here. We just define it differently. But yeah, sometimes I would just take and really this is a self-love journey, honestly. I would take the situationship because I was like, I'd rather have a piece of you than none of you. A guy that I really liked. By the way, this is high school and college. Let's keep it real, okay?
Yeah.
I also think that, not to jump to the next one real quickly, but situationships, there's an age restriction. You can't be 40 in a situationship. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean? It's
I can't even be in a situationship right now. And we just graduated. That gives such college vibes. Like,
doesn't it?
Sneaky link situationship. How are you having a sneaky link at 27? That ass like, look for a house. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Where's the down payment?
Where's the down payment? Where's the wife? Like sneaky link is crazy.
It's like, crazy.
Commitment issues at 27 is insane.
It's to us. Yeah, to us. It's just not for us. And I'm going to stand on 10 toes on that, honestly.
For sure.
But it's definitely like in college. Because the reason why I say is because when I was 21, 22, 19, 18, my self-confidence wasn't there. My self-love. The things I allowed and I tolerated, which we've all been through this and stuff like that, were things I just learned that I would never allow now.
Plus, we didn't have like parents that are very like, what's it called? Transparent when it comes to dating life. And like, you know, like, nothing people, at all. Like they learn. Babes,
we're learning how to talk about our emotions on this couch.
Exactly. Like I'm learning through like my first interaction with these men. Do you know what I mean? So like obviously we probably had it worse in the first couple rounds.
Yeah. What is your the first one with situationships that you've learned? Something that you've learned from your situationships. Go ahead, Mella.
Oh, okay. Let me piggybacking off of that. Actually, I don't even know. No response like is a response. Like, when I tell you, there's been so many times where I'm just like, even like the inconsistency of whatever, like, you know, like taking, like not even, I guess accepting it is like, maybe he's busy, maybe he's this, is that. No, the reason why he's not responding, and I'm being so for real, let me look at the camera dead in the eyes actually. If he's not responding, he don't like you, he don't want you. If he's inconsistent, he don't like you enough. Whatever is lacking, it's because he doesn't like you enough, literally. Because if he did,
girl, I've been silenced just now because I can give you two examples on the spectrum. One, and I'm gonna call myself out on this one. Super embarrassing, but I think we could all learn from it. Okay. Because if you wanted to, you would. Is the biggest thing I've learned from TikTok. Like it's insane. But we were at like a college bar. I'm like 19. You know, again, don't know anything. Don't even know how to wipe my own butt. Like literally, just trying to get through school. Yeah. And really like this guy. And he was showing that he liked me, but every little thing he did, like I told you, I would just build on it because we're girls and that's what we do, right? And I was with my friends, and you do want to have good girlfriends who just call you out and give you the real tea. I feel like sometimes girls can be like watch the movie, he's just not that into you, because girls will be like, no, Hermela, like his phone probably died, like he probably fell asleep. I'm like, no, boo, honestly, love, he's not consistent. And like, be honest with your friends.
Shout out Ruth and Miriam.
I've
been dragged through the mud.
Yeah, because we just didn't know any better. Now we do. But any little thing that he did, it was very minimal. It sounds so sad, but I was so used to not getting that much attention or love that any little thing he did was like grand to me. This is what he did. He came up to me, held my hand, and then we're in the middle of the dance floor, so there's all of our friends are there or whatever. Yeah. Kissed me, and then he asked, do you want anything from the bar? And I'm not much of a drinker or anything like that. So I was like, oh, I'll just take get some water or whatever. And then he goes and gets the water, right? And we've talked about it before, but one of my love languages is like acts of service or just doing things for me. So to me, I was like, this is amazing, right? tell me why my girl Ashley turns to me and she's like, girl, it's just water. Like, girl, it's literally right there. It's literally not that deep. Like, didn't burst my bubble, but really I was like, yeah, you're actually right. Like, I'm so used to not, and you know what I mean?
Actively dating before then?
We were like talking here and there on and off.
Oh, no, like with other guys as well.
Not really, no. That's another thing is I was a serial situationship.
Me too. Like,
which is so dumb. Because the whole point is like, enjoy yourself. And by the way, when we're saying situationships, I'm not saying we're sleeping around. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm talking to guys or whatever. But for me, I can only obsess or have feelings for one person at a time. I can't.
See, that's like me now. Before, it used to not be me. I literally was just like, I would like, you know when you like put a barrier? Like, I would only talk to people that I'm like, you would never see me ever in person. Like, I was the I was a sabotager. So literally talk to you, blah, 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 and like, they'd be like, oh, like, I'll come, or like, I'll make a drive or whatever, and you're never gonna see me. Like, I think to this day, I'm still like that, but at least I would see you in person more. Do you know what I mean? But because we lack those, like, dating experiences more, like, in person, then there's, like, the little things where, like, oh, he did this, da-da-da. So I have to, like, actively tell myself, like, that's literally normal.
That bar is no.
That's bare minimum.
Like, bare minimum. I mean? Yeah, because to your point, the opposite, in college, I used to work at I used to be an RA and work, and I used to work at the front desk, and my work times was 12 p.m. to 6 a.m. Like, I was a zombie.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
How'd you do that?
Like, it was insane. Adderall. But another guy that was interested in me would literally lose sleep just to come hang out with me at my job. Yeah. So
okay, see, that's your point, admirable.
No, but to your point is that if he wanted to, he would. Like,
oh, for sure.
Because I would give him the whole thing that you mentioning. Like, I would sabotage and be like, because I'd noticed that he really liked me, and that actually scared me. Yeah. Like, when I was younger, I liked the guys that were unattainable because I liked the excitement and the drama, whatever. I don't anymore. I just want peace in the Lord. That's really it now. But back in the day, I was like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Where if you're just easy to get, I'm just like,
are you like more of like a chase person? Were you?
Absolutely not. No, I like more of just the.
Oh, when you said unattainable, I thought you were saying like
I'm chasing them?
No. People can't get them, so they're like, oh my God, like he doesn't. He's
well, no, that too. But if you're initially, when I was younger, if you were too on me, like if you were already so impressed by me, I would be like, you know what I mean? I need a little bit mystery, whatever. I'm not like that anymore. That's so toxic, but that's how I was. And the guy I was just talking about, I would be like, no, I'm busy these days. And because my nights were flipped, I would, after school, I would literally go home and sleep because then I have to be up at 12 to 6 to go work. Yeah. And so he would be like, okay, I could come by and drop you Red Bull or whatever, just to come hang out with me for like 3 hours or whatever. And he would keep me up, by the way, because sometimes I would like fall asleep because I was exhausted. But I'm like, that one taught me, I'm like, if he wanted to, he would.
Period. Like, I love that we're mixing the positive and the
negative,
for sure.
But then I still wasn't interested in him. So there's still like a self-love journey. Like, why? I would ask myself, and I would ask anyone out there who's young, like, what is it that you think that you don't feel worthy of the right type of love? Or you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why am I thinking I want to be with this bad boy or this whatever versus this guy who actually is like taking the time and making sacrifices just to be in the same room with me? By the way, he wasn't like sexual or anything like that. He literally just wanted to sit next to a chair next to me and just talk and keep me up while I'm doing my, like, it was lovely. Shout out to that guy.
But I do want to say though, in defense for like the girlies who like, I guess don't entertain those type of guys. There's sometimes where like you're genuinely like so nice to me, blah 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 blah, and you do like appreciate it, or like they help you understand like this type of love exists. Like their sole purpose of their interaction with you is like you deserve this type of like, you know, this type of love, or like the way, I don't know, a guy like sees you or whatever. But that doesn't mean that they're your person.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Could see how that's so frustrating to that guy.
That's why you have to like let them know off bat. Like don't what's it called? I feel like the only time where people like mix that and like mess up is like when that person's like really genuine, showing you, you know, like everything that you want. You just keep them around just for the validation, or you keep them around just for the ego boost. Do you know what I mean? If you don't do that, just let them know like, I don't think you're my person, but you're like an amazing person. then I feel like it's fine.
That's very mature. I mean? Yeah. Because in my younger years, I was definitely guilty of like the ego boost when I was younger, for sure. I'm not like that anymore, but I was definitely guilty of that for sure. That's a good point.
Yeah, even like habit, because I feel like I did have like the same experience where like I just felt like that was the positive situationship, honestly. Like I just felt like, you know, like seen and adored and everything. Like I learned a lot of like, most of my bars came from that situationship where like, I want my man to do this. But at the same time, I just realized like you're not my person. I just don't feel like you're my person. We don't like connect on a deeper level. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, okay, like appreciate you for the lesson, but you just move on. Just like I had to like let it know. But I let it drag on because I was immature. But yeah, like when you realize I'm like, hey, you're not my person.
And that's growth. And that's on growth.
And that's on growth.
But I want to ask you this really quickly. What, like, I could think back, like, obviously this was high school, college years. Like, what made a situationship for you, like, attractive? Like, why were you down to do situationships at that age?
Oh, for me, I feel like I did most of my situationships in college. Like, most of them came
Notice how we're always saying this, guys, because it is age restricted.
It's age restricted. My mom would have let me.
If you're in your 30s talking about situationships, wrap it up.
Exactly. Wrap it up. But in college, I was just I was in tune with my emotion, and I really knew that like I'm not emotionally unavailable, but like I wasn't open to like commit emotionally into something. So I was the problem as well. So it's not just the guys. Like I just genuinely just do not want to. But like also most of the people like I didn't see you as like my boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it's an experience. Like I want to have not even like a physical experience because most of them they never saw me in person ever in their lives. But like literally, you don't understand. Like I've fallen out of like off with people because they didn't see me in real life. Like they're like, girl, what's the point? Exactly. But I feel like only a few of them that I really like, you know, like I saw not even a future with, but like I wanted it to progress. But yeah, that was like on their fault. But the rest of the guys, it was me. Like I didn't see them in that way, or like I just didn't want to like invest in it emotionally.
I also think, because I think this is very on brand with Firsties, what you mentioned, a lot of first gens, because I went to school with a lot of first gens too, not my high school, but my college, and so did you. I noticed how we understood there was like this unspoken rule that like college is most likely where you're not gonna find your partner. So let's just have fun and kiki. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why, that's for me why situations were so attractive to me, because one, I was always like, I'm 22, I have time. I'm not like that now. So I was just like
thinking I was gonna get my boyfriend in college and graduate together, blah 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 blah. But then
but that would make sense if the pool was there. But who I was going to college with, I was like, you're definitely not my husband. No offense, but that's how I saw it. So I was like, oh, I might as well just like have fun.
And I feel like the hookup culture really fucked it up, especially for my school, because my sluts only. Like that's what the men. I'm talking about the men.
Yeah,
but the men. It was just like everyone loved a sneaky link, a hookup culture, blah 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 blah. So
that's college,
and that wasn't like the vibe I was on. At least like, you know, like that's not what we were on.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it was so easy. For me, I feel like all of like I never really glorified like romantic relationships because I'm very fulfilled with platonic relationship and with myself and stuff like that. So like it's really a plus. So you really got to be a big plus for me to actually.
You gotta do your big one.
You gotta do your big one for me to like pay attention to that part. So
that's what I'm at now. Go ahead.
Yeah. So usually with my friend, like if a guy's just like, if you're bothering me, like it's one strike and you're out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you're doing something, or if you try to like, you know how guys try to like make you insecure or manipulate you or whatever, or like
absolutely
if I see a single, like if you try to sexualize me, you're out, because my friends don't do that, and I'm so happy with my friends and myself. Why would I like?
It's so interesting. So you had that perspective in college?
In college,
that's so impressive. I did not have that.
Even in high school, me and my friends, like I just had like solid like friend groups since high school. So it was always like it's like a sisterhood every single time. So I'm like, what's the need of just like I wasn't like down for a toxic relationship, blah blah blah. Like they were all cut first strike.
Yeah,
you're blocked. Like
because I get like that's why I'm at now, where not going to say who, but I quite literally just had a conversation with a guy.
Yeah.
I told you off camera where he's expressed interest in me. And then we've had the conversation of like, you've never been in an actual relationship. No, I've had situation, but I've never had a boyfriend. No one can say that Mila was their girlfriend. And right. And he was like, oh, why and stuff. And I'm like, honestly, from like, probably I didn't know I was doing the same thing that you're doing. Like, my life is pretty great. I'm very blessed. God is good. And if you are not pouring into me, it just makes no sense, especially because I was around my close friends, family members and stuff where the relationship was toxic. Like, I learned from, my dad always said, like, smart people learn from other people's mistakes, dumb people learn from their own mistakes. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So I just saw, like, why I think I've said it before, sometimes our sophomore year, I think about the football games and the darties and the day drinking and the crazy nights in the library. Like, my freaking sister is literally sleeping with a pillow in the library on final exams. Like, I think about all these things. Yeah. Where some of my friends think, well, oh no, that was the year that so-and-so cheated on me, so-and-so yelled at me at the random party or whatever. And I was like, I didn't have that. I had my guy friends and my girlfriends because it was like, I just knew in the environment. I went to ODU. It's a party school. Yeah. The environment that I was in, I was like, I'm probably not going to find
your person there.
Yeah. And that's okay. It was age appropriate. So I was just like, I'm just going to have fun with, with whomever, and get to know people. But cause I was fulfilled with like my family, my friends. Like, I really had fun too. So I completely agree with you. Yeah.
But I do want to say, like, the con with our friends, at least like me and my high school friends, we were all like, imagine a group of emotionally unavailable girls.
Yeah, prayers.
No one's leaving. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's like you get so comfortable to the point where like, I don't even need a man, period.
And we don't want to get there.
And we don't want to get there. Like, there has to be a healthy balance of like, okay, like, I will experience. I feel like that's where I'm in right now, where I'll date, I'll experience like, oh, guys or whatever, but the second it's bad for me, I know, like, I'm so like, I'm good off, like, you, as I have, like, other people, like, that can, like, pour onto me and stuff like that. So now I found, like, the healthy middle. But before I was just, like,
I could do bad all by myself.
I can do, like, I literally am, like, I'm so good off, like, anyone or whatever. So the second, it's just a no.
So then did you find, we'll get back to our list, but did you find that when you started dating and in this season of your life that it was a little bit difficult to, like,
this season?
Because it's not like I'm going to be a dater now. Not like some of my friends just like,
sure, yeah.
They'll just be, swipe on Hinge or whatever and then go to coffee the next day. I'm like, that to me, that's insane. Yeah, no. I need a moment just to like simmer a little bit. Yeah. But someone's like, why waste the time? Why would I text them all day, every day? I want to meet them, see if we're compatible, and then move on. I'm like, I don't know that skill yet. I want to know if you're a serial killer or not.
I don't know. I feel like I've gotten much better, but then also it's just like with my luck, like I just happen to meet like good people that I'm like, okay, I clicked with you. Yeah. But before, I might text you a day for a day or two. And then it's a no. Like, you can just tell. Like, I'm such an in-person person, which is crazy because I don't link you, so you can never really, like, vet them properly. But the second I literally just, like, said, I'm not having talking stages, I'm not talking to you, like, I used to have talking stages for months, which is so
insane when you look back at
it. Like, there's this one situationship, like, oh, my God. It lasted, like, a year, I'd say. A whole year. And it's not even like we were texting for a year. Like, just the effects of it lasted like for a whole year. And looking back, I'm just like, there's just
why am I shocked? Way. Like, I've done worse, Scott.
A year is insane. Like, chunks of my life was just like, chunks of that year. I'm just being so dramatic.
Yeah, but no, I get it.
But yeah, now, like, the second I was like, I'm not doing talking stages, I'm not texting you for that long, it literally was just like out the way. Like, now, what's the longest you would talk right now?
That right now, I just almost feel like talking right now is like even immature to even say in our.
I was about to say, it better be 2 weeks.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it better be 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Absolutely. Like, because in my head now
let's redefine talking first of all, so we're on the same page.
Talking is like, you're asking me like, hey, when are you free for a date?
Gotcha.
Like the small talks that you would have like at a bar, like for the 30 minutes if it's on text.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and then dating, I would do like.
And to you, dating is going on dates.
Dating is like going on dates. I'm seeing you in person and texting. So I'm really vetting you.
I want to know, when does it become exclusive?
when I'm in a relationship, when you ask me to be your girlfriend, and then we're.
So when you're going to dinner with these guys, when you're going to dinner with a guy, you could also be going.
These guys.
No, but you could also be going to dinner with other guys.
Yeah.
And you'd express that to that person.
To that person, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're dating, like you're dating around. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, like this. But like usually, like if I like a person, I focus only on that person, which is crazy.
Same. I wish I had the trait of like. You know what I mean? It's in the early stages I do, but for the most part, if I really like someone, I can only really like that one person.
Yeah. Ooh, what takes me to the second point.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is my biggest lesson. And
not her grabbing the mic.
It's crazy. Limerence is such a real thing. Do you know what limerence is?
No, what is that?
It's like when you're so obsessed with a person and you give them their own personality and their traits, and like you're like, he's this, he's that, da, da, da. So you're like become so invested in them, and you're just like in love. Like it feels like love, but it's not, because you literally don't know the person. You're crazy. Do you know what I mean? That's limerence.
That's my superpower.
Bitch, me too. And I have a really wild imagination. So we're
creatives, like
exactly. So when I tell you, that's the what's it called? Situation. Let me know. Anyways, but what's it called? Yeah, like limerence, like the second you get like a little tiny bit of like interaction with the guy or whatever, and then I just go on. That's why talking stages are like horrible, because if I'm dating you, then you're always working against my.
That's why I want to text for a while, because I want to imagine. I want to create this perfect. No,
see, then you're just like you're making, like you're putting him up on a pedestal, or whatever.
And no one can. Yeah,
exactly. But when you're actively going on dates, let's say the man likes blue, the color blue in your head. If he's telling you my favorite color is green, it's already like, you know, like it's, you have less time to imagine. You have more time to like see who like the person is. But yeah, I used to like talking stages, just free reign. I was imagining a way.
Speaking it's for Melly.
Insane. And that was hell, like hell horror. Like I literally was like, I had to sit myself down. I'm like, what the fuck do I love about this person? Because I don't love this man. Like,
when you write it down, confusion. When you write it down, confusion. Write it down. Pros and cons list, I believe it.
I was like, pros and cons list, and I'm just staring at the pros, empty pros, and I just don't know. Do you know what I mean?
All has to do with their appearance.
Oh, like, I don't know who this person is. Do you know what I mean? I'm just really attracted to you.
Yeah.
And personality.
I've been guilty of that, yeah. You know what women do a lot? Or I shouldn't generalize, but what I've done is, Jay Shetty talked about this before. It's similar to what you said. You take one quality that you, Hermela, that you really value. I'm not talking about like he has nice shoes, but like it could be like kindness, like true kindness, or that he's very clean, or that he's always on time, or that, you know, some guys, something that we find attractive is like, if you're going to say you're going to do something, do it. You're going to call me. If you're going to text me. When you pick me up, like that type of stuff. Yeah. So imagine whatever trait, this is not just like a random trait. It's something that you really value for you. It could be different from me. Once they achieve that trait, you can see that they actually truly have that trait. You then correlate it to another trait that you also admire, but literally you have no proof. Okay. So for me, my friends make fun of me, but for me, like if he is extremely like kind and like temperament, like he's nice to the waiter, or like my friends or whatever, and genuinely, you know what I mean? Like make sure they get their Uber is there or whatever. You know how we peep stuff. Yeah. I then think he's trustworthy. Those two don't correlate.
You would get kidnapped so fast. Oh my God.
You don't do that?
I do.
Or like he's always on time, so he must be clean.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He's attractive. He's so attractive, so he will never break my heart.
Really? I thought you were going to say he's attractive, so he's a slut.
No, that's how like people's like I'm thinking like rom-com and stuff, like the goody, like the conventionally attractive guy is just like, he charming. Really? Sorry, he's charming, so he will never break my heart.
See, that's for like the nerdy boys. Like if I see you reading with the glasses, whatever, you will never break my heart. But then they're the worst.
Or a quiet guy is always the most toxic guy.
That you don't understand. I fell for that so many times. Like I see like the quiet, you're like in the corner just chilling, or
like his friends are like rah.
While his friends are rah-rahing, so he's in the corner chilling. I'm over here like, oh my God.
I think you told me off camera once. One literally almost ruined your life.
The worst man I've ever met in my life was a quiet guy who literally was in the corner just leaning. Literally the worst man. Literally.
But we do that. Like imagine looking back, I'm like, or you do the thing of he did this thing, so he must like me. He texted me. He double texts me, so he must like me. Girl, no. Yeah. He accidentally pressed the send button too quickly. Like, girl, it's not that deep.
I'm so weak. Yeah. For me, what I struggle with is like whatever you give me, like let's say this is your personality, you start from 100 for me. Because
okay, let's review this. Yes. So what Hermela's talking about, us girls do this because men do the opposite. Women, we date from 100. You're on a freaking pedestal.
You're like an amazing guy.
No one deserves. Exactly. And you're going down. Men go from 0 to 100. And I think we should do that.
And I think as women, we should start from negative. Did you see the
Fight from jail?
It's like men should, I saw a tweet that says men should start off in jail and prove their self out or their way out. And we need to do that with dating. Like, men should literally, like, you should think of it like it's a negative. You're a horrible person, and then I see you doing something kind, or I see you doing something, and you just...
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Okay? Her rolling her eyes, because we do have 70% of our audience that are men. Hey, guys. It just see from the guy's point of view, like, that energy is very unattractive, don't you think? Of, like, men are trash or like whatever.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not.
We actually don't believe that, but we, you know what I mean.
I'm not gonna like when I'm talking to you. I'm not gonna be like.
Okay, because that's how it might come off. Where it's like, okay, if you're gonna think I'm guilty, then.
Oh, not even guilty. I'm just saying, don't trust them until they prove trustworthy, or don't. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel safe around them until they prove that they're like someone to be safe around with.
So for you, is it everyone's
like
trusted until they do a penalty on you, or
no, it's opposite.
You earn your trust. You earn their trust, even with your girlfriends. It's opposite, isn't it?
No. It's always the same. But I'm very like,
with men, I'm the opposite. You have to earn my trust, but with my girlfriends, it was always, oh, you're cool. Oh my God, love your hair. We have the same makeup, whatever. And then if I see some weird stuff, then I'll
See, my thing is like,
across the board.
Yeah, because the one comment that I get with people is like, oh, like I can't read you, or like.
That's don't know. Damn sure.
People think like they don't know like where they are in like my life, I guess.
She's talking about like her mom.
I don't know if I'm your friend or your best friend or something like in that aspect. And I think it's because like there's always like a front. So like I know
you're not
it's
a real
safe,
person, Melly. And that's okay.
That's okay. But no, this is actually an issue. Like I literally had to like sit my friend down. I was like, babes, you're my best friend, damn near. Like I had to tell her. She's like, I never know where I'm like at like in your life type of
it sounds like for that person, like words of affirmation probably is important or whatever. Yeah, and that's tough for us.
Words of affirmation girly.
Yeah,
we've already spoken.
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah, so I feel like for me, it's like you have to earn your trust in. And so for the men, it's even more.
Right.
Even more. Yeah. For the girlies, I can be around you. I can share some stuff and stuff. But like for guys, no.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way we should do it because I feel like. Yeah, there's just no way.
Like, I guess I just have to get rid of my idea of just like,
zero.
I just hate that it has to be that way. Because it's like, why can't men act right? Why can't women also act right too? Mm-hmm. And we just all come with our honest selves or whatever and have a grown. Yeah.
I'm not trying to say there's like not a lot of untrustworthy. I mean, there's no trustworthy men or like there's no good guys out there. Like,
we're not generalizing.
This is for sure not a
disclaimer. I'm going to put that up on the screen.
Niggas ain't shit podcast because we do love men, unfortunately. Yeah. So... Yeah, it's
unfortunately, we do love men, but
like,
unfortunately,
we love men. But it's like I can't really change that about me. But yeah.
Another thing that I've also learned from situationships. Again, I just have to preface again. This is us. I know I've said it a million times, but again, it's age appropriate, really. Mm-hmm. So please comment down below, or honestly, submit into Firsties Corner if you have any like firstie stories or anything, or you want to give advice or anything like that on the youngins or whatever. But something that I realized I had to look myself in the mirror with the situationships. The reason why I actually preferred them more than like relationships in college is because when I was in college, so I wasn't taking anything seriously. Like this is college. Yeah. Like there's always that running joke of like in college you could go to class and come home and watch Netflix all day and still feel like you contribute to society because you're a college student. It's cute. Yeah. But when you're 27 and have a job, whatever, that's not cute. Like go, like be productive. You know what I mean? But I didn't realize that. The reason why I preferred, like, I really had to ask myself. It was actually through therapy where it was, like, why do I think I'm only deserving of a cup of water from the bar that is completely free and not hard to get? Yeah. And when I say, like, I was over the moon, Hermela, like, I ick myself out just thinking about it right now because that's how low the bar was set. Or that's what I was I wasn't used to much. So just getting something. Yeah. And that's where I think, like, when you're deprived of love for so long, like your metrics are fucked.
Exactly. That's what everyone has to date. Like you have to don't be a serial dater, but like you really have to just just put yourself out there back and forth, because at least you would know what you don't like. Do you know what I mean? Like, shout out to all these situations, because like now I know the things that I would not even tolerate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, or what to look out for as well.
Or even like a type of person or whatever. Because like if you're like, if I'm waiting until like, oh, this is the perfect this, or it has to turn out this way, blah, 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 you can be the worst man known to man, period. And you could just like manipulate me because I don't know better. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or I wouldn't even know. Like, you know how like we always like try to gaslight ourselves into liking the person, or like try to defend the person.
You're really taking me back.
Like, but what if he did this, or like maybe his this. I'm
That's
like,
where your real girlfriends
like,
come in and be like,
take
babes,
it as it is. Like, yeah, you just have to take it as it is.
Start from zero. Honestly, start from
Literally.
zero. Because that's it. I would just take one thing and romanticize it, or I would allow. I would say like, oh, he probably fell asleep, or whatever, and it's like, thank God I had friends who are just like, babe, it's just he's really not that into you, really. Because here's the thing, it's an ego trip, because you're like, I'm amazing, like, yeah, it's almost like one hand you're super insecure, and the other one your ego is so inflamed. You know what I mean? You're like, yeah, I'm confused why
you don't see that.
He's not blowing up my phone. It's like, oh, you gaslight. It's like the weirdest thing, like you mentioned.
Insane, yeah. Do you like, let's say he didn't talk to you or whatever, like for a whole day? Would you like respond? Like when he texts you, would you respond immediately, or would you also play the tit for tat? Like,
when are you a lick now? Again, completely different. College, I would definitely wait a little bit, so I didn't look eager. It's the games that we play, but it wasn't like I was gonna wait a full day. If we were texting back and forth, then I was texting back and forth. But if he didn't text me all day, then he texts me. If I make note of it, because there's some days where he's busy and I'm busy, like genuinely. Yeah. And when he texts me, I just link up. I didn't even realize that he didn't text me back all day. But then days where he's probably more busy, or all right, that's what I told myself, and I'm not as busy. Yeah. Maybe like a one class day. You know what I mean? Like I went to the gym, I did everything I needed. Right. Especially if I'm gonna see him at the party later, and I know I'm gonna see him there or whatever. I would take my time to text. I didn't want to look eager or whatever. But then what you mentioned earlier, I honestly, looking back on all the situationships, probably one guy out of all of them I really liked. The rest,
same. Literally one.
Is that not crazy?
It's so insane.
Wasting our damn time. Yeah, not the niggas. We're wasting our own time.
It made me realize, like, with the rest, I used to, I was a lick back person. Like, you don't text me for a day, I'll talk to you on Wednesday. And it was like Sunday. Like, we're not, like, I was such a lick back person, but I really realized, like, I had to sit down and, even, like, from, like, current, like, situationships or dating experience, I guess, it made me, I never liked these guys. Yeah. I forgot, we could curse on there, but I never liked these men, because now, like, the way that I'm wired, like, let's say he didn't, like, a guy didn't text me for, like, 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever. When I see it, I'll text you back, like, immediately. Because if I like you, it's, like, I'm not, like, because you didn't text me back for, like, 2 hours and 30 minutes, I'm going to wait. Like, if you're doing lick backs or whatever, like, just be honest with yourself. You just don't like the guy. And it's
just
fine.
Don't, and it's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
But that's the thing, is, like, I'd rather want someone hitting my line than no one at all. So I just be like, but looking back, I'm like, oh my God, there was one guy out of the 4 years I've been at college where I actually genuinely, it didn't work out, but I genuinely liked him. I liked being around him, all that stuff. But I'm like, girl, what did you tolerate? Like, now I'm like the complete opposite. I'm like, if you're not pouring to me, like,
one hit it. Like, I'd rather,
like, my phone is dry and I'm good with that. Yeah.
I think I had to face, like, not even face, but it's like, you know, when you have to also see their intentions. Like, not everyone hitting your line wants to be your boyfriend. Or
True.
Wants to take you on a date. Like, there's a lot of men, especially in college, it's very sexual, or it's very, like, you want to hook up, you want to do this or whatever. So
over it.
When it was like, when I faced these people that were just like, you literally don't care if I lived or die. You probably just want to, like, you know, hook up or go on a date or whatever. I literally was like, oh my God, like, I'd rather no one ever text me than ever face this.
What are we doing? It's just wasting the energy in my thumbs, if I'm honest.
But it's Instagram. They think, like, they can just, like, you know, like, pictures there, blah, 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 like, a picture, and then you think
flames,
just, like,
and it's
absolutely not. And then, the second I realized, like, I'd rather just literally, like, not interact with men, period, if that's the interaction that would ever be, then, and then it was, like, it just, I don't know, it just happened, like, it was a big switch, and then now I don't, like, get these type of guys, or, like, their attention. You know what I mean?
So what you're saying is basically is that you're just on a different frequency. Like,
oh yeah, you definitely attract what you like.
Exactly.
What you tolerate.
What your
it's
intention.
Not even what you are.
Yeah.
I feel like you are what you attract used to be so like victim blaming a little bit because I'm not that. So why am I attracting these shitty ass men?
I know myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then I realized like you attract what you tolerate. Like if I'm, let's say a guy's texting me and you want to just like, you're not trying to take me on dates. You're only texting me 12 a.m. or whatever. And I respond, that's what you're tolerating. So, you know what I mean? Like God, the universe, they're going to think that that's your standard. And you're going to get 5 texts the next day at 12 a.m.
Yeah.
So
that's real.
Is like,
that's
I don't even care
real.
about the attention. I just
that's
don't
what I
tolerate
think.
that.
That's what I think what is for me for college is that I just enjoy the attention.
Yeah.
Because I just knew I wasn't taking anyone seriously, even myself. And then now I'm a different season in my life because I have, absolutely, yeah. Any other situationships that you want to share?
Let's see.
She's like, let me go down the list.
Let me go on the list, guys. We made a list, and I literally wrote it with names, and then
we were like doing this off camera. I was like, yeah, I have a list here. Then she's like, yeah, I put mine by the names. I was like, that's insane.
But I had to learn the difference between like you're obsessed with me or like you're like, what's it called? Love bombing me a little bit. It's like, oh, like before I used to like it. Do you know what I mean? But now it's scary to me, actually. Like
it's actually frightening.
It's so frightening. Like, and guys used to be on some like, I don't know. I just really dealt with like a lot of like possessive, not even possessive, but just like obsessive men. But those type of traits are so scary when it comes to guys because I don't know how you treat your I don't know how you react with your emotions. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, like, you know, those toxic green flags, like when he was like, you're mine, blah, 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 when he says that and girls are like, oh my God, that's actually a threat.
That's a red flag.
That's such a threat. But at some point it's like, people are like, oh, that's toxic in a toxic way. Like, oh, he wants you bad, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like people had that, but people still do actually. Like I literally see it on TikTok
a couple talking stage, that's scary.
Exactly. Imagine saying,
but if you're dating,
you just don't really know. That's not your boyfriend saying you're mine. Don't scare me. I actually will call the authorities.
I will run. I don't run. I only run when I'm chased. I will run.
Exactly. But yeah, like all the cons, I feel like I just learned all the cons.
Yeah, same. I mean, more than, because again, it's like we're past the situationship stage of our lives almost. Prayers to anyone out there who's trying to get out of that. Yeah. This is all for the younger generation, or anyone who's actually in it. I'm just like, it's just, I literally only learned more about myself. All this has to do with us, not those men. But man, what I tolerated when I was younger, I would like, my jaw would be on the ground. I almost see this like what I would tell my little cousins or like my daughter one day, like, girl, you don't, like the cliches are true. Like, girl, you don't have to waste your time with that, whatever, but you want to go to the party, you want to mingle with these group of people or whatever. Yeah. And I mean, being a first gen, like that's kind of our first like social group. Right. Because we only know Mohammeds and like my best friends growing up were my cousins. Same with you. Yeah. And then you go to social and be like, oh my God, and then you meet other Habesha people that you're not related to. So of course you're gonna go a little crazier. Like it's just exciting.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. See, sometimes you might be the problem.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Do you know what I mean? When we realize we deserve better, when we realize you don't tolerate that, then everything changed.
Yeah. I will say the one thing I'll say, I feel like I can only speak for myself, but when I came to visit you guys and I would talk to Mara too and Ruth too, like we moved a certain way, but like there's a spectrum on how the girls moved in college. And we definitely like were not on negatives. That's what I'm saying. Like when I say we were situations, like we weren't doing anything like absolutely not. You know what I mean? Like we had to go back. We had Anate to go back home to, or like our mom's like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Literally.
So take all of this with a grain of salt. Yeah. Like we still had to go home to our African ass parents. Yeah. But
now that you've learned all these lessons, do you think like right now would you say you're open for a relationship or no? Or are you single, looking, or in a relationship or dating? Let's
spot. Let me sit up. Let me sit up. No, I'm definitely open and have the desire for a relationship, which is the very first time I've said that out loud. Really? My entire life. Never said that out loud.
Were you like just closed off before?
Yeah, and also just learning the again, you can't just wake up one day and be like, it's like being like, I want to be fit. Okay, girl, go to the gym every day. Like you can't tomorrow I can't wake up and just be like, I'm a fit person, you know? You have to practice it.
Right. So you're open to practice it.
I'm open to a relation the healthy, yes.
Okay.
So I'm open to a relationship right now, and I'm on that frequency, and I'm allowing my faith to change my heart.
Period.
And be a little bit more open-minded as well. Because it sounds, but I do think it's all about heart posture and your desire to do it. Like, have you ever seen a thing with men too? It's like when girls are like, let's say you dated a guy and then you guys broke up, the next girl that he dates, he marries. And they're like, well, what's different about that girl? And some guys are like, no, the only difference is that he decided to get married. Like, that was the difference. And she happened to be there. It's almost like a proximity timing thing more than like the girl. Because we're always so much like, what, like, like what's different about me? And it's like, well, no, he just decided. So I think that's where I'm at now. It's like, I've decided I'm on that frequency.
So it's a declaration. Mila's single, y'all. And looking. Okay. You can DM either Firstiespod or I got you. DM me so I can put you on.
Girl, stop.
Let me know, guys.
Girl, stop. Let's turn it over. Actually, to finish up this episode.
Oh, for sure.
What are your intentions, Melly? Are you open?
It's fine if you do the outros right now.
Melly, are you open to a relationship? Where are you at in your what season of your life are you in right now, currently on this couch?
Well,
you have to reflect, right? Like, you never really think about it.
Yeah. I feel like right now, with everything going on in my life, like early 20s, just got graduated, I don't think I'm like ready for a relationship. Do you know what I mean?
That's honest.
I feel like that takes so much like effort, emotional.
I'm glad. Yeah.
And I don't think I don't have the time for that.
Okay.
Like, genuinely. But like I am open.
It's okay if you're not. How old are you again?
No, 23.
23, and I'm 28. When I was 23, I was
experiencing
and that's
around
okay
for sure. But like, I don't know.
No, and that's okay. I'm just in a different season of my life. Where
I'd say just question mark for now.
Yeah, and I get it. We talked about it before, where like your career is very important to you. We have goals and dreams with this podcast. We're basically married to this podcast, and this is a priority. So it's that too. But I'm learning also that there are people out there that could love us and pour into us while we're working progress.
For sure.
Like, because what I used to do is type A.
That's selfishly. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say if I'm like dating someone and I'm like focused with everything, like I'm mainly like career driven in my life right now, I'm not pouring into you, or like there's no, do you know what I mean? So I feel like it's the same way where you're like keeping the guy along for validation.
True.
Do you know
I can see what you mean. But you could say on the flip side, you make time for what you want to make time for.
That's true.
There's a 24 hours in a day, right?
That is true.
And if I'm honest, for me, I actually get more ish done when I have more ish on my plate, because I have no choice but to get it all done.
Yeah.
Not to say like to get a relationship done or anything like that, but if like really quickly, like the one guy that I was really interested in, one of the main things that made us did not work out was proximity. He was in a different state and I was in a different state.
Yeah.
Now, I knew if I brought it up myself, I would have resentment or just feel like I wanted the guy who was going to be like, okay, let's do long distance, right?
Would you
like,
do long distance?
I absolutely would for the right person. I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah. It's the stats are crazy. Like not a lot of people like, but I'm like, you never know what it brings. Like we're not going to, I'm a trier. Like, let's try.
Yeah.
But if I had to bring that up, the like, not the ego death, but like how I would feel from knowing that I always had to bring it up of like, I would want him to be like, well, like I would want him to kind of seek that out for us. So that's why that didn't work out. So again, you make time for it. Would have been tough.
But that's like, you could have easily fixed that with communication. You just didn't want to be the one to bring it up.
Ate her ass. You're like,
She got ate up. Okay.
For sure. But again, I know myself. Even if I did communicate that,
you feel like you were.
It's like asking for an apology.
Like
it's like saying like, I think you should say sorry or whatever, and then you say sorry. You're genuine about it. But then I would always know, why did I have to bring that up? But again, this was when I was younger as well. So now it might be different this time. Sorry about that, guys. We're always just geeking on this. Yeah. We said in the intro that cameras are dying. So sorry to wrap it up. What were you saying, Melly?
But yeah, I'm just saying I'm like in a limbo in the middle, I guess, because I would say I'm open for a relationship, but because priorities.
No, what you're doing is
what you're saying, it does make sense for the right person.
We're so good for each other.
I know. You're literally just like clocking me.
And you're clocking me.
She made me change my answer. I was like, fuck, maybe I am ready for a relationship. But yeah, I guess it just takes a lot of effort. So it's just like, are you willing to take that much effort?
Yeah, and I appreciate that, because when men, the thing that we have issues with men is that they say that they want a relationship, but then they don't want to just be honest, be like, I'm not.
Exactly. Or you're not.
So you're saying that right now.
Yeah. Like, I'm just not, I don't think I can. There's too much on my plate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just, when we make plans, God laughs. So it's like, I just don't want us to block any blessings.
Exactly.
Is what I'm saying. Because we're getting so
or
busy.
like, if you meet the right person, would you still?
Yeah, you can like wait until Firsties is #1 podcast in the world. Then
I just might, guys. So make Firsties the #1. Get this, like, make this go viral so I can start dating. Thank you.
Make this the #1 podcast in the world, and then we'll find our men. It's simple as that. Do that for us. Subscribe, like, comment.
But period. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yes. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. So
we get our men.
Like we said, like, engagement, share this.
Yes. Turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we post an episode. Thanks again, guys, for watching. We'll see you in our next episode. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.